Once again, trending. You just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't make this stuff up. I told you every single day there's going to be something. She's going to be trending for something every single day. That proves that she's a puppet. That proves she's not fit. That she isn't a presidential candidate. And look what everybody is posting. Look what everybody's posting, y'all. Just look. Look what everybody's posting. The same exact clip. You just can't make this up. Kamala's currently getting briefed on Hurricane Milton and got caught in 4K, telling her handlers it's a live broadcast while being fed the questions to ask. Look what Nick says. Kamala Harris just forgot to mute her mic while telling the intern feeding her hurricane questions that it's a live broadcast. If you need more proof Kamala is an incompetent puppet, here it is. Let's check it out.
We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and
did you see that? Oh my goodness! This again. But what they say, call us crazy, conspiracy theories, comes out to be conspiracy facts. It's happening, man. It's sad. And this is this Biden-Harris administration. And it will be the same for this Harris Walls ticket. This is why I told y'all this is going to be one of the worst tickets we might ever see in our lifetime. The Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. They could have done better. And now you see why Democrats, lifelong Democrats, liberals, everybody is packing up their bags with this party. They're packing their bags.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken.
And look what she's looking at. Live broadcast. Look what she's looking at. And then look, unbelievable.
I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and I know there is a lot of media following this briefing.
Flood.
And then she sounds completely lost. This is bad, man. You know? You thought that it was going to stop with the $750? And then still, FEMA is nowhere to be found in a lot of places. You see everywhere, everybody on the media is complaining about people being denied. People have still got no help. People have lost their life, man. Animals have drowned. Lives have been devastated. But like I told y'all, man, we the people come last. And here you have a puppet. And of course, Biden is nowhere, is somewhere in the sand. In the sand. Then dropped his snow cone on the floor. On another vacation.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and I know there is a lot of media following this briefing.
We the people come last. Billions over here, over here, over here, war, illegals. We the people come last. And then they go on and say, oh, Trump is spreading misinformation. We're going to blame Trump. After they come out and admit it live on air. They think we're stupid. And they've been thinking we're stupid. Same with the cheap fake, a deep fake. He's as sharp as a tack. Hey, Mr. President, you dropped your pen on the floor. Mr. President, you dropped your pen on the floor. There's ink all over the floor. Whoa, what's going on, beautiful people? The show continues, as you can see, man. I can't wait to get into this, though. He titled this one, Biden just ended her campaign. He hates her. Remember what Trump said? You know, look, he hates her. And then literally the next day, the next 2 days, he puts on a Trump hat. He says it's going to show unity. Unity. All right, Joe. Nowhere to be found. You know. But want to send my love and prayers to you guys, man. Everything right now is just crazy. We're living in dark times. A corrupt scam matrix, man. You know, one love to the human race. We are so divided. There's so much hatred being spread. It's just sick, man. You know, prayers for Trump, because we do not know what to expect next. As they're clapping on this puppet. And they want everybody to believe in this puppet. You know, they're sending Barack on the campaign now. Once again. You know, they're probably going to send Hillary out there with that big bottle of hot sauce, too. I mean, it's just sad, man. It's sad. But check this. Let's get into this, man.
To the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. What exactly is going on here? Am I sensing a little bit of drama at the White House? You know, there's certainly been reports of drama over the last 4 years. Kamala Harris's office supposedly being at odds with Joe Biden's. We've seen reports suggesting that Jill Biden is furious at Kamala Harris. You know, there's certainly been some tension, which honestly made it all that much more confusing when Joe Biden decided to hand over the nomination to his vice presidential pick, Kamala Harris. You know, that would make you think that everything's hunky-dory. I guess it was all a bunch of rumors. There was never...
They're shaking out their shoes right now because they see that we the people are calling this. Everybody's calling this out. Independents are calling out. Even Democrats are calling this out. They're not liking her interviews. They're not liking that she's bombing them. That you know, even if they're softballs. You know, they knew that the dodging, ducking, running, and hiding, not, you know, that it, as you can see, it wasn't working. Hiding wasn't working. And now it's 28 days out and she still can't answer a question. It's still word salad after word salad. And then a couple hours ago, she basically admits, well, I'm Joe Biden 2.0. And just continues to give Trump more advertisement. People want their questions answered. I'm telling you, man, if things are done fair, free, fair election, because we all know what happened in 2020. You know, and now their only talking point now is, because they know that she's losing and tanking in the polls, is all you're going to hear now is January 6th, J6 to sway voters. When you ask voters on that, and they polled voters, they didn't even make it past a 20% if they cared about that. They cared more about policy and about what has taken place these last 3.5, 4 years, and which they called a complete disaster. Incompetent leaders. And tons came from even Trump haters, anti-Trumpers. Never Trumpers.
Any drama at the White House? Well, not so fast. I know that's how it may seem on the surface. That might be your immediate reaction, but if you dig a little bit deeper and if you're paying attention to what's happening, it feels almost as if Joe Biden is purposely trying to sabotage Kamala Harris's campaign. Sounds a little bit crazy, right? Well, not so much. As Joe Biden does it again, Joe Biden steals the spotlight from Kamala Harris, appearing for a press conference at the same time as Kamala Harris is doing a public media event, which is now the second time that he's done that, except this time it's even worse because in that press conference, Joe Biden completely counters the narrative that Kamala Harris is trying to spin. I mean, truly devastating stuff. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so you guys aren't going to believe this. Kamala Harris is playing politics as per usual, and recently she decided to tell the press this.
The other point I'd make is that there's a lot of mis and disinformation being pushed out there by the former president about what is available, in particular to the survivors of Milton. And first of all, it's extraordinarily irresponsible. It's about him. It's not about you. And the reality is that FEMA has so many resources that are available to folks who desperately need them now and and resources that are about helping people get back on their feet and rebuild and have places to go. You are entitled to these resources. People are entitled to these resources, and it is critically important that people apply for the help that is there to support. That all of those resources were created for just these kinds of moments in an emergency situation, knowing that folks are entitled to have the relief that they so rightly need at this moment in time. So listen to your sheriffs around the places that have been impacted by Helene. Listen to your local sheriff who's going to tell you straight about what's available to you and how, for so many reasons and ways, there are no conditions attached to the relief that's available to you.
Oh, woe is me, I'm a victim. Ron DeSantis is now ignoring me, politicizing the response to Hurricane Helene. Ooh, Ron DeSantis, evil MAGA guy, is refusing to cooperate with the federal government. That's essentially what she was saying. He's playing petty politics and rejecting calls from the White House. And of course, without question, the entire liberal media apparatus ran with the narrative, how dare he? That's pretty much what's led the conversation early this morning. And then Joe Biden shows up, oddly enough, not only stealing the thunder from Kamala Harris as she's doing her whatever The View interview, but then essentially rebuking her claim that she made earlier that morning.
The governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday. And I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call. So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job. But we got a lot more to do.
Ron DeSantis is doing great. In fact, he gets appreciation and credit from Joe Biden. Holy freaking moly. There's two possible explanations here. Explanation one, Joe Biden is just as senile as ever and just doesn't know. Totally reasonable, by the way. And so maybe he didn't know that Kamala Harris was attempting to craft this narrative, or maybe he did know, and he's purposely trying to upstage her and sabotage.
Joe off them gas. Look at Joe, man. Y'all, Joe off them gas station dick pills. They got Joe doped up. He don't even know where he at. They done put about 4 or 5 of them 7-Eleven Rhino gas station dick pills in that cup. Joe off, I'm telling y'all, them patriots know about them gas station dick pills. Y'all know about them now. Yeah. Y'all know about them 7-Eleven gas station dick pills. Yeah.
Her. Honestly, I don't really give a crap which one it is, because at the end of the day it serves the same purpose. Joe Biden essentially confirms that Kamala Harris is a liar, and she's accusing Ron DeSantis of being political and politicizing another crisis, when she in fact, now, is provably doing exactly that. Ron DeSantis is working with the federal government. He's speaking with the actual president, not the one pretending to be a president, because she's in the middle of a campaign that she's currently tanking in. You know, I think Ron DeSantis hit the nail on the head in his response.
She said, moment of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone calls himself a leader, says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now and playing political games at this moment in these crisis situations. These are the height of emergency situations. It's just utterly irresponsible, and it's selfish, and it's about political gamemanship. What's your response?
Well, I think she should look in the mirror. We've been on an emergency footing for 2 weeks straight. My focus has not been on dealing with Kamala Harris. I saw the news report. I didn't know she tried to contact me. But I'd also say it's not about you, Kamala. Right. It's about the people of Florida. My focus is exactly where it should be. And I can tell you this. I've worked on these hurricanes under both President Trump and President Biden. Neither of them ever tried to politicize it. She has never called on any of the storms we've had since she's been vice president until apparently now. Why all of a sudden is she trying to parachute in and inject herself when she's never shown any interest in the past? We know it's because of politics. We know it's because of her campaign.
Seems like a pretty valid point now, doesn't it? All of a sudden, Kamala Harris has to be involved in this process? What experience does she have? Who is she exactly? And why is it necessary for her to be involved? Oh, she's the vice president. Okay, well, Ron DeSantis is clearly in communication communication with the president and probably all the people in charge of disaster response at the White House and federal government, why does Kamala Harris need to be front and center? Well, very simply because she's trying to politicize it. She's doing photo op after photo op, trying to appear as the savior of the universe in this time of crisis, and Ron DeSantis doesn't want to play that freaking game. I don't blame him at all. And honestly, the way I'm looking at this thing, I think it's the Ron DeSantis curse. We've seen it a million times before. Every single time the media tries to go against this guy, they lose in spectacular fashion. I have to admit, Ron DeSantis as a politician is kind of a bulletproof wall. They're always trying to misrepresent him, cast him as some sort of evildoer, but it fails miserably every time. And like I've said previously, that's probably due to the fact they try to use the same tactics that they use against Donald Trump, targeting people like Ron DeSantis, but obviously it doesn't work, it doesn't translate in the same way. And I think now Kamala Harris has been completely exposed here. She has no ground left to stand on the issue of the other side is trying to politicize things. That narrative is over, and now thanks to Joe Biden, it's clear to everyone that she's the frickin' liar. It's yet again another totally embarrassing moment for the Kamala Harris campaign as they miserably fall flat on their face in yet again another tactical misstep. And now I guess the question is, I wonder how Kamala Harris is going to get herself out of this one. Well, she's already responded.
Now, he said this morning, you've never called regarding any of the storms Florida has had since you've been vice president until apparently now, and called it political. What's your response to that?
Well, first of all, I have called and talked with, in the course of this crisis, this most recent crisis, Democrat and Republican governors.
Governor Ron DeSantis says, well, you've never really been involved before, so why would you be involved now? Obviously, the answer is it's campaign season. And her response is, I called governors during the most recent hurricane. You mean the one that happened last week while you were on the campaign trail and you didn't show your face until 4 or 5 days later just to do a bunch of photo ops? When during the actual crisis, you were busy doing podcasts talking about abortion. How completely idiotic. I'm pretty sure most people with their heads screwed on straight will be able to see right through this one. Kamala Harris remains a complete and utter disaster. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully.
Unbelievable. Gosh, continues, man. And we send our prayers out. Our love, our condolences out to the hurricane victims. And anyone that's being infected right now. Again, man, it's crazy. Lives have been devastated. Lives have been lost, you know. And the way they're trying to flip things and take things out of context, and how they're trying to flip the script on Trump and again make him look just like a evil, bad human being, as they always try to do, man. When people call out the truth, and it's not just Trump calling out, everybody's calling this out. Sad, man.